Okay, welcome to Grim World's first steps. Working through the tutorial. So the tutorial now says that we went. This is Marta. Marta has a reaction of 1, and she has a backpack, and she has gone to the dark forest. Somehow she found. Yeah, well. I think this should be like so. She isn't in the ruins. She just has a value of this value should be upside down, or this should be upside down, and then you can just slide them. But she is her fate number is 5, and somehow magically she has found an X in the forest, and that is the check that she has to do. It's a 7 plus, perform a radio telepathy thing check, and the check that she how you do a check is you draw the top card from the Be Encounter deck, and you look at the number and you add the number to the radio value that is printed on the barmaid Marta. So she has a value of 1, and the check failed. Then we process. So yeah, I'm sorry about this, but it's the best I can do for now. So the red cross thing is suddenly your right leg gets caught. There is a loud crack and you fall to the ground. Your knee is open and you are bleeding slightly, but it looks worse than it is. As you pick yourself back up, you see that you've tripped over the handle of an axe, which is still stuck in the trunk of a tree. Okay, that can happen in the dark forest. The handle and head of the axe are damaged, but nothing you can't fix. You lose 1 HP. Receive an axe, so discard, as a broken item. Interesting. So that's what the story says. You hurt yourself during the fall. When you take damage, you must place one of the cards of your action cards under the damage cards. So this is the damage card, and this is your life with the other heroes. And one with which you can move a bit, and this side to discard a card with both actions. Jizo as damage. Okay, so she discards Jizo, and this goes on the side, so she has now 2 hit points. You decide to discard the card with both actions. Jizo as damage. Okay, then Marta meets a deer in the clearing. Where? What? So somehow you have the area. Here is the deer. In a clearing you find a magnificent deer. This was done first. So she tripped over an X. She got an X, this card. And what you do is you place the card upside down over the broken items. So it looks like this. Zoom in. It's not a very good idea, but so what do we have now for broken item? A broken X and one scrap, one ore, and something else with a 0. And you can sell it, I think, for 3. You can buy a broken X for 6 in a town. And you can buy a full complete X unbroken for 11 thaler. We have 5 thaler, so yeah, so we're hopping along with broken X. Okay. And then there is the question that in a clearing you find a magnificent deer. Do you have a weapon with a range of 3? So yes or no. Martha does not yet have a weapon. She's only in range 1, so the deer disappears in the underground. The random encounter is now over and the next phase begins. Yeah, that's good, but then we go to the landscape encounter. So there are 2 kinds of encounters. We have a landscape and some kind of item encounter. This should be clarified a little bit. Maybe we'll figure it out later. Landscape encounters are only handled if there is a horizontal line on the encounter card. Okay, and this is such a horizontal line. And the bottom border says you can cut wood, tree cutting. This is a beautiful oak tree. Perform up to 6 constitution checks on a 12 plus, 9 plus if you possess an X. I think it means a non-broken X. Receive 1 wood per success, maximum of 3. Yeah, okay, that is pretty obvious. But we don't have that. So she could try to cut down trees to receive wood without an X. She would have to pass a constitution check of 12 plus. That's what we figured. Martha has a constitution value of 4, so she can't pass the check because the highest fate number of the encounter deck is a 6. So this is important and should be printed in bold with an X. The value would be reduced to 9 plus, but unfortunately Martha does not own an X yet, so she decides to not perform the landscape encounter. In other words, this is skipped. At the end of the landscape encounter phase, the exposed encounter cards from the previous phase are cleared and placed under the encounter deck. Place the encounter cards B25 and B14. B25 and B14. So this is plus. Okay, so these 2 under the encounter deck. Under the B encounter deck. I would not call this B encounter deck, by the way. I would say, yeah, it's called B. The B, I would say it would stand for battle. So let's call the combats C encounter deck. Otherwise we have to be encounter decks. So these combat things for later, I renamed them. Pop, pop, pop. So this ends the landscape encounter phase. So that's fine. And then we have a location encounter. In the location encounter phase, you can check to see if there is an encounter for your character's current location. To do this, look at the encounter bar. So that's the thing here on top. Look at the encounter bar to see if there is a matching card for your character's current location. Now, the Dark Forest has a location number 15. That is here, the 15. It's dark, but it has the 15 in square brackets. Now looking back, in the encounter bar lies the card Z4, which also has the location number 15. Z4. No, we don't have Z4. We used that already. This is C4. This is C4. It's the X card. I think it's a little bit confused. Maybe it's Word, maybe it's the tutorial itself. So take the card, read the text, and I think that is the location encounter. So there is a mix-up in the text, I think. Well, the text check must be performed. So you're going to do the X thing. You add the sum of the fate number and check if it is successful. Place the Kizu card as damage under the damage card. We already did that. Action card under the damage card. Fight a broken axe. So we are now here.